First of all, I'd like to thank Ellen for organizing the event, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending. And whether it's simply coincidence or synchronicity, I particularly like that it was scheduled for today, my 49th birthday. Thank you, thank you. Anyway, as mentioned, my name is Daniel D. Davis, and I'm here to talk about my first full-length book, From Ancient Aliens to the Shift, the Grand Unified Theory. Now, please don't think that the aliens in the title, don't let it fool you. This is not just another wacko paranormal book about UFOs, but actually contains a formidable amount of information that the public is not hearing regarding several critical subjects and explanations as to why the public is not hearing everything. Yes, a substantial portion of the book is about all the evidence regarding the existence of visitation of our planet by extraterrestrials, including testimony or quotes from a multitude of surprising witnesses, from U.S. astronauts, presidents, and other high-ranking military and political officials to their counterparts from around the world. For now, let me just say that the general public has no idea of the overwhelming mass of credible evidence that exists, which indicates that there has been an extraterrestrial presence going back thousands of years. Furthermore, in the last few decades, their appearances have been building to a crescendo, which could be a form of psychological conditioning to prepare us for the official contact with humans. Another major topic in the book regards the prophecies concerning December 21st, 2012. Since we're all here relatively safe and sound, it's clear that it was not the end of the world. This is not a dream. Many of the prophecies, however, speak of something starting around that date, that we live in times of great change. So in a year or two, we may look back and realize that whatever has transpired by then began around December 21st. As concerns physical dangers, we may not have seen the worst yet because there are several signs, backed up by science, indicating that major natural catastrophes could occur at any time. On a more positive note, however, an entire chapter is devoted to the most promising of prophecies, a global shift in consciousness, hence the shift in the title. If you're a member of a New Thought church, are familiar with the work of motivational speakers such as Dr. Wayne Dyer or Eckhart Tolle, or have seen programs such as Oprah Winfrey's Super Soul Sunday, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, there are millions of people around the world who are ready for a fundamental shift in the way that we relate to each other as members of the same species and as individual components of the entire unity that is the cosmos. A major catalyst of such momentous shift in consciousness could be the general public finding out more of the global facts of life about the numerous logical, peaceful, environmentally sound options available to replace current practices that are driven primarily by ignorance and greed. Several of these topics are mentioned in this book, from inconsequential things like diamonds to critical subjects such as education, the media, energy, and health and medicine. The bottom line, if we were not wasting so much time and resources, people would be far less stressed, less prone to arguing and fighting, either on a personal or international basis, and have much more time on their hands to learn about the enlightened future that we could have. It would then be much easier to effect the changes that need to happen. I believe the human possibilities are best summed up in the following two paragraphs, which are in chapter 3 of the book on pages 88 and 89. The years living in Africa were truly a watershed in my life, and my learning curve has been exponential since then. As I went on to live in Romania and then Pakistan, and to travel in a total of 36 countries, I witnessed firsthand things that the average American would have trouble believing without seeing with his or her own eyes. Furthermore, after learning a few languages so I could talk to the locals in their own tongue and get to know them better whilst engaging in activities such as skydiving, paragliding, rappelling, canyoneering, and playing guitar, it is becoming undeniably clear that the world is not hearing the complete truth regarding human history and the evolution of the status quo. On the bright side, those interactions with my fellow adrenaline junkies, growing up in Ecuador, South America, and teaching students from about 100 different nations when I was an overseas educator, taught me the most valuable lesson of all. People are people are people. That is, left to their own devices and not instigated to hate another race or religion by those with ulterior motives, the average person can get along with pretty much anybody from anywhere and can find common ground to understand, accept, and even appreciate the differences between us. Thank you for your time and attention.